Right, so welcome back to this video. This video is a results video to show you the performance of the ads that I placed for the song The Rain, which has actually been out for a couple of weeks now, and for my album called Blue, where the main song is called Forever Blue, and that's the one that I focused on. Let's start with The Rain. As I said, it's been out for a couple of months. And so it missed kind of the boat on the algorithm on Release Radar. But what I did with The Rain is I focused on fan collection and really that worked, I would say, dramatically well. So, but kind of the side effect was that The Rain actually picked up a lot of streams as well. So it's unfortunate that Spotify didn't support the song algorithmically, but fans liked it. I'll show you in a sec the kind of the results. And by the way, looking at these results, you know, the best day was 414 streams. I mean, for someone else, that's probably a bad day. For me, that's a good day. So, you know, I've got a big catalog. I've got a catalog of, you know, maybe 100 songs. So it kind of adds up to quite a few streams. It's not where I want it to be, but it's doing okay. So yeah, so as you can see, and this, I mean, we're talking about an ad spend of about $10 a day. Probably at this point here, I started it. That's right. Early in December, I started it and putting the $10 a day in. I think there are a couple of days where I increased it to 20 just to get more fans before. So this around this sort of time here, the 3rd, 4th of December is when the other album came out. So I just pushed to get the fans in, and so I did that, and then around about here I reduced it to £5 a day, but still did pretty well. The ads doing pretty well there, and actually it picked up a bit with Facebook pushing it out to more people, and this is £5 a day. So let's just have a look at the playlist actually, which is really interesting. So it pushed it out to quite a lot of playlists. If we go to the start of time, it's 365 playlists. So we've got 365 people, you know, really, there's a couple of what I would call sort of major playlists on there where, you know, their job is to play the song. But there are quite a lot of personalized playlists where people have listened to the song, which is really cool. We'll go to the audience. So the point here, and as you can see, we're listeners, I mean, listeners isn't that high. It's between 250 to 350. We got 400 and something that day. But streams is where it's at for me. Obviously, you know, it's going up and down sort of there. We're averaging, the lowest is, you know, almost 400, 350 there, and got a high of 1,300 streams. You know, we're getting a few thousands in a day, but, you know, kind of averaging 500 to 600 a day, which is good. And that's as I get more followers, which is the point. And this is the real amazing thing, really. So you can see here, this is a month ago. This is a 28-day graph. I started putting the £5 in a day kind of around here, actually. I mean, I was doing it anyway, but I was focusing more on the songs. Around here, I was focusing more on the artist, on me. So started getting more followers, and around this sort of time I started putting, you know, $20 a day in, which really increased it. And unfortunately you can't really see, after you get to 1,000, you can't see how much it's grown. You can only see 1,000 or 1.1, and as you can see now it's reached the 1.2 mark. So to go from 870 to 1.2, so what is that? That's almost 400, just under 400 followers. 400 followers in a month is, you know, spectacular. I mean, considering where I started at 800, and if we look at the sort of my lifetime, you can see here there was a big boost around here when I had a song that did really well, and then kind of stagnation in the 400s for a long time. And yeah, it kind of took off when I put the Facebook ads in, and then I really just focused on me. And you're probably thinking, what is that? You know, what do you mean focus on me and not the song? Well, all I did was I pointed people to the Spotify follower page. So just open that in the background. So I just pointed it to me on Spotify, and the big button that you see there is follow. So if we just go on to Spotify, which will open up any second now. So we'll search there. And while that's cranking up, oh no, there it is. So that's me there, VXD. So the first thing you see, maybe not this one because it's following, because I'm following myself, is when you see this page is this button here is follow. So I mean, that's the thing that people are clicking. And you do want more followers because then they get notified of anything that you bring out, which is brilliant, really. But kind of the side effect is the rain has ended up with about 8,500 streams. And as I said, very, very little algorithmic support. I mean, if we look at if we just go back to the song, if we look at the source of streams, only 6% come from algorithmic playlists, and most of those, so about 200 come from Release Radar, none come from editorial playlists. I don't know what other means actually, but that's interesting. Most of them just come from their own playlist. So people are saving the song, putting the song on their own playlist. So if we just have a look at the statistics here, let's make the screen a bit bigger. Look at the statistics here for the rain. So let's go to releases, and we've got 2.8 thousand listeners, got 1,132 saves. So, 50%, well, just under 50% of people save the song. And there's 1,000 people have saved the song. So those people have that song in their library and can recall it at any moment. In addition to, and as I just showed you before, it's on a lot of playlists. So I think kind of that's been a good result. And I just want to quickly show you the ads manager. And I've completed the whole thing. So the whole thing all up costs £218. So basically I'm paying £218 for 400 followers, which is, what is that? £2 a follower, which is, isn't too bad. £2 a follower, but those followers, hopefully, most of them will know who I am and will come back to me, which is cool. So yeah, that's that. So whilst we're here, we can have a look at the campaign for Forever Blue. And Forever Blue, I spent, and that's finished as well, I've spent £136. So that's been out since the beginning of December. And a cost per result of 12 pence. Not too bad, to be honest. Most days I was putting in a £5. I think the first 2 or 3 days it was £20. But I think it's dollars. I'm not sure why no, it's actually pounds. So the first 2 days we were, putting in £20, and then I tailed that off. So let's just have a look at the results of Forever Blue. So Forever Blue is the first song of an album called Blue. So what I was trying to do here was I was trying to put together kind of a greatest hits package for 2020, as well as put a 3 new songs. So the first 2 songs are new and the last song is new. The last song is completely different to anything I've done before. It's kind of more of an indie song, but I just thought I'd put it there just to see the reaction. But the idea is, most of the ad spend goes on the first song, which I thought was the best song. And then you get residual plays on the other songs. And that's exactly what happened. So the second song, which had no ad spend and I haven't asked for it to be on any playlist yet. I will, look to promote that a little bit more. Without any advertising, kind of the residual of the first song, it got 366 streams, and it's still getting streams. I'll show you that in a sec. 235 listeners, 45 saves, which isn't too bad, for considering I haven't promoted the song. The first song I did promote, it's got 2,000 streams, 480 listeners. So we're talking about listeners are listening to the song 4 times or just over 4 times, and quite a few saves. So it's actually performed pretty well. Sorry about that, that's my phone. And these other songs are existing tracks which I placed on the album, and they've got more streams out of this. And the last one, which was my kind of experimental song, it's done okay. 183 streams isn't bad. It's not bad for a song that's had no promotion. It's had nothing. Had nothing thrown at it, and it's got 20 saves. So some people liked it, and some people might come back and listen to more of my music. So I think overall it did okay, but the problem is, and let's just have a quick look at this Forever Blue, the actual song. So this is where I put a lot of ad money in, and then it tailed off to £5 a day. So it did really well. Sorry about that. Did really well with, I think it was 20, maybe even £30. I can't remember exactly. So really pumped the money in at the beginning stages. Then I decided to tail it off and pay the £5 a day. And £5 a day wasn't giving me the greatest results, but it's not too bad. The disappointment was it didn't get any algorithmic support. So if I go to just playlists. So what I would have expected and what I would have liked is being pushed out to release radar algorithmically. And what I mean by that isn't just the fans, people who follow me or support me, but Spotify does push your song out to other people's release radars. And it didn't do that with this song. And 46 is pretty pathetic, really. And we're now in the third week, so it's unlikely it's going to get pushed out any more. And I don't think it's on quite a few playlists, but it's not on anywhere near as much as The Rain. It's only on 37 playlists. So performance wise, it's on 2,000 streams. It's not too bad, but performance wise, it hasn't kind of reached the same levels as The Rain, and I've stopped promoting it, to be honest. And the rest of the album won't really be promoted anymore because it hasn't been supported by Spotify. And this is where I want to talk about return on investment. When we're talking about spending money, and as I said, I spent 136 on the album, not just the song, but the album. We're talking about how much money is Spotify giving you for the money that you've spent. Most times you're going to lose. let's not mess around here. 2,000 streams is if you think that 1,000 streams is say $4 American, then we could say that that's $8 worth of streams. And we're looking at the whole album. I think I calculated that the whole album got about 6,000 or 7,000 streams in the last month. So even so, that's 4 times 6 is 6 4s 24. That's about $24 American, and I've spent 136. So overall, I've lost money in this campaign. What I have gained is some supporters, some saves, some plays, and it's a kind of a long game that we're playing here. So it hasn't been that great for me personally. And what I need to do now is and I am doing this with some friends, some people in the industry that I speak to, just to try and work out why Spotify isn't supporting the song. If you look at let's go back one bit. If you look at the song in this area here, Forever Blue, 2,000 streams, 400. So we're talking about almost so listeners listened more than 4 times, and you've got almost a 40. It's about 40% save rate, 45% save rate. So people are saving the songs. People are putting the songs on the playlist. It's not massive, but they're putting the songs on the playlist. People are listening repeatedly. So what is it about the song that's not performing? So that's what I need to work out. So some of the people I have spoken to, and if you have listened to my music, and I will put a link to the songs in the description. If you have listened to my music, what we have discussed is a couple of potential problems here. First problem is the songs are very different. So they do kind of have a retro electro pop feel to them, but all of the songs have different vocalists. All the songs are different. So it's kind of pop, retro, but there's nothing there to make you want to, it's not going to pop your eyes out. It's not going to say to you, it's not going to tell people to come back and listen for more. I mean, some people I'm getting messages from people saying that they love the songs, and there are going to be some people who are really keen to hear more, which is great, but it's not really the quantities we're looking for here, and it's confusing Spotify. The songs aren't really giving Spotify any direction. It's not telling Spotify, you got this song that is definitely a bloke here in America is definitely going to like. So we're going to put it in his release radar right on the bottom, and I've checked Chartmetric, and it is going on people's release radars, but people are not getting to it because it's right at the bottom. So how do we get that song to the top? And I think the best way to do that is to not confuse Spotify. And what that means is make it really clear to Spotify who you are and what you're doing. So the song has to be, the songs have to be, not just the song, but the songs have to be in a style that people understand and that Spotify understands. And Spotify is a computer algorithmic sort of generated system. It only understands really genres. And this is the problem with Spotify. I mean, it's great for indie artists because it gives you algorithmic support, but you need to understand the game. You need to play this Spotify game, which, unfortunately is you need to slot into a genre. Once you've slotted into a genre, especially a genre that's moving and doing really well within Spotify, only then really does Spotify know where to place you. So I'll give you an example. If I happen to do like a future bass song, like a song that sounded like, I don't know who does future bass. Just say Chris Lake, right? Say I made a song that sounds like him. So people who like him are more likely to listen to me. And I've got to do my bit too. I've got to make sure that the ads target people who like him, because my songs sound like him, and all of the, not just people who like him, but people who like artists that sound like him. Because what will happen is, if you target a very narrow sort of specific range of individuals who are always listening to the same style and type of music and artists, you no doubt feature in their recommendations, which means you will feature in their release radar, and maybe you'll even feature in their Discover Weekly. So what I mean is Spotify needs that. Spotify needs to know this guy here is listening to these artists. Probably doesn't even know who these artists are really, or what genre they're doing. He just knows that this guy listens to De Niro, listens to Chris Lake, and listens to Lucky Luke, or listens to whoever, and listens to them repeatedly because they make similar type of music, and this guy likes that type of music. So if your song sounds like that, and this guy is listening to your song, likes your song, and also listens to those other songs, and then there's another guy in some other part of the world that does the same thing, then Spotify is going to make sense for Spotify. Spotify is going to say, well, let's push this out to some other people that listen to those other songs but haven't discovered your song yet. So this is the thing that I think I'm starting to click here. So my songs don't have that. So what I mean is, The Rain I think it's a really good song. I've got so many compliments about the song. It's kind of a retro kind of 80s song, but it doesn't really sound like anyone. It doesn't sound like anyone. And it could, and the range is too broad. So it could, for example, a guy in one country might like The Rain and might like retro sort of pop music. But the range is so broad that they might like Kylie Minogue, or they might like Ariana Grande, or they might like anybody. It's just too wide a range, and it confuses Spotify. There's just too many artists to pick from. So it means when it comes time to recommend your music to someone, it doesn't know who to recommend it to, so it doesn't. Or it might take a chance at recommending someone, but puts it right in the bottom because it's not sure. It might put it in the bottom of their release radar, but it's not sure if they're going to like your song. So it puts it on the bottom, and people may not reach the bottom of their playlist. By the way, this is all stuff that I'm assuming happens. And it's only because, as I said, Spotify isn't really supporting my music yet. I'm still trying to work it out, of course, and I'm trying to not just work it out, but as I work it out, explain it to you so you can benefit from the mistakes I'm making, and I'm still making, mistakes. So I'm making mistakes. I'm trying to benefit you guys. And so what I'm going to do here, so it's not just about talking here. I'm actually going to act on what I can. It's an experiment, right? What I'm going to act on what I think is happening. And yeah, what I'm going to do is, so I've got VXD. I mean, I like VXD, and we've got. I'm going to continue making music as VXD because it's the sort of music I like. And just have a look here. I've got 1,181 followers, and I feel kind of a responsibility to deliver music to them. So, and I have quite a few songs in the pipeline. I'm going to definitely, there is a new song coming out on the 1st of January, a remix, which is I'm looking forward to that. And there's going to be more songs coming out after that. But what I'm going to do is I'm also going to come up with, just go down. I'm just going to come up with another artist name. So I've already got a few already. They're more experimental. So I've got one called Love Left Right Love Right. Slumber Lords was the first one I came up with when I started making music, but I stopped that pretty quickly. Love Left Love Right is where I experiment with masters. So I might put a really loud song on there to see what it sounds like. VXD is my main artist, but I'm going to come up with, what I'm going to do now is come up with a new artist and start from scratch. And what I mean by that is I'm going to be very, very genre focused. So I'm not going to explain the type of music I'm going to make yet because I'm still working through it, but it's going to be very, very controlled. It's going to have a very specific set of branding. It's going to have a very controlled set of Instagram posts, and the material is going to be very, very, it's not going to sound the same, obviously, as each other, but it's going to very, very much pander to a specific genre and be very as niche as possible. And my objective is to follow, in terms of my advertising, follow certain types of artists, make sure that the audience that likes those artists are the people that I'm targeting. So following, targeting, that sort of thing. And it's going to be a 2021 project for sure. And I'm still, as I said, I'm still making VXD music, still releasing it, but I'm maybe not going to promote it as much. I'm going to put some promotion money into this new artist, and yeah, we're just going to see how it goes. So I hope you guys will keep up with me and see how things go. I'll put links to the songs so you can check them out, see if you like them. And apart from that, if I don't hear from you guys again, have a great and fantastic Christmas and New Year if you don't hear from me after that as well. So thanks a lot. Catch ya.